What's up, film lovers, and welcome back to the CeeLo's Film Club, where we break down the biggest movie news and dive deep into the world of cinema. Today, we're going to be talking about two huge stories. Christopher Nolan reportedly interested in directing a 007 James Bond movie, but was denied final cut. Plus, we got our first new look images of lanterns. It's the series from the upcoming Max series from James Gunn's new DCU. Let's jump right into this, guys. I'm very excited to talk about these two topics, okay? The combo that almost happened. Well, it turns out that Nolan was actually in talks in directing a 007 film, but there was one major problem. He wanted full creative control and the final say in the edit. The previous owners did not want to give him the final say in the edit, so he moved on and did Oppenheimer. This was right after Tenet. The studio, however, wasn't willing to give up the full powers. As a result, all the negotiations, fell through. Nolan has expressed his love for Bond in the past. Nolan has always been very vocal of his admirations for the Bond film. If you ever seen Inception or Tenet, his style would match perfect for the James Bond films. I do think that, James Bond films have a certain style to them. And I do think that Christopher Nolan can capitalize on that style with his own flair of storytelling. No Time to Die was entertaining, but it just has some flaws in the movie. I think Christopher Nolan taking over a new direction and new take on the James Bond 007 would have been awesome. If you've seen Tenet and Inceptions, like I mentioned before, those two films have an espionage spy kind of feel to them. I mean, I think this would have been perfect for Christopher Nolan to do this 007 movie. Imagine this movie made by Christopher Nolan and having Ludwig Göransson do the score for it. It would have been a perfect match. Rumor has it now that Amazon has taken over the property from the Broccoli family, that they're going to be approaching Nolan and letting them do a James Bond movie. Don't know if Nolan's going to still be interested. Maybe he will be, maybe he will not. I also do think that Amazon has more plans for 007 other than just having one or two, three movies. I think they were going to do spin-off shows and whatnot, but we shall see. Hopefully Christopher Nolan does get his crack at the 007 James Bond franchise. If you're a big Nolan fan, I think this would be good for him. Also, if you're a big James Bond fan, and I do think that having a director like Christopher Nolan would be great. Let me know what you guys think. Leave your comments below. Do you think it's a great idea if Christopher Nolan was to direct a 007 James Bond movie? Or if not, who would you pick to direct this the new upcoming 007 movie? And also, who would you like for them to cast as 007? Maybe it's Robert Pattinson. I don't know if you guys ever seen Tenet. I think that would be a great choice, or even John David Washington. I think those are pretty good choices. Robert Pattinson's a little bit on the younger side. He has that jawline. He's slick looking. John David Washington, good looking dude. He's really good with action scenes as well, and he's a great actor. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Drop your comments down below. Now moving on to the DC universe, James Gunn and his team just dropped the fresh images from Lanterns, the highly anticipated Max, series centered around the Green Lantern Corps. This show is set to introduce Hal Jordan and John Stewart in a detective style mystery kind of show that's inspired by True Detective. True Detective is loved by a lot of people. I think this show is gonna, have a certain fan base for sure. I'm excited myself. I got super excited when they dropped these images. You see in these images that they dropped, you see Aaron Pierre and John Stewart, and then you see Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. You see them walking down together on the road. It seems like they're ready to do some detective work. In this show, pretty much they're gonna have Michael Chandler, Hal Jordan play a mentor role to John. Pretty much he's a seasoned veteran that is on his way out. If you guys don't know much about Lantern Corps, they're pretty much space cops. Everyone has a different sector. It seems like they're gonna be on Earth. They're assigned to do some detective work on a case here on Earth. And it seems like Michael Chandler's pretty much, Hell Jordan is gonna be pretty much, guiding John Stewart and in this, case, and pretty much pass the torch to him in terms of, the rankings of the Lantern Corps. I do think that, John Stewart's already going to have his ring. Talking about the ring, I do see that Hell Jordan has a ring on his right hand side. I did not notice it at first glance, but then when you start to pay attention, you do see his ring. You do not see one on John Stewart. Doesn't mean he does not have one. Okay, just the way the image is, you cannot really see what's on his fingers. But I do believe he will have a ring. I don't think they will have him do detective work if he is not a if he is not a Lantern. They could go the other route where he doesn't have any of, he wasn't chosen by the ring yet, and he's working with Hell Jordan on this case. He's maybe a cop or an agent or something like that, and then during the show he gets his ring. To be honest, I wouldn't really like that, or if they kill off Hell Jordan in this season, and then that ring gets passed down to John Stewart because he is the chosen one. Honestly, wouldn't like that either. I think that John Stewart should already be a Lantern. They should not kill off Hell Jordan in this show. Maybe in the future, but we shall see. Hopefully we see them in full costume, not just in like civilian clothes. I think they are going to try to drop decent amount of money into the the ring powers and the projections that the rings can bring, and save some money. Having them in civilian clothes for a decent amount of portion in the show, which I'm okay with. I just don't want them to barely ever wear their suits. Maybe wear them at the end of the season. I think that would be a big mistake. The biggest thing about the Lanterns is how they glow green, their rings and stuff like that. So I think it'll be a missed opportunity for fans that you don't really see them in their suits. I do want to see kind of that Lethal Weapon kind of vibe where you see the older cop on his way out mentoring the younger cop that's new to the corpse here, and just kind of guiding him and showing the way things are done. I think that'll be pretty cool seeing them their two chemistry on screen. I think they're gonna have great chemistry. I can't wait to see this, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very very excited to see this. When they first announced the project, when James Gunn first did the announcement for the DCU slate, he did mention that whatever case that they're going to be working on Earth has a bigger, pretty much has a bigger overall, effect on what's going to happen in the DCU. The only thing is, now they backtracked and said something different. James Gunn and Safran, I think it was yesterday, they said that this is not going to have a big effect on the DCU. So now they're backtracking. They're saying it's going to be its own thing. Stuff like this gets me worried. I feel like they're all over the place with the show. I mean, I wish they could have just said, hey, we tweaked a little bit stuff on the show, rather than just backtracking and saying that they're not going to, that this show's not going to have an overall impact on the DCU. I do feel like it should still be its own thing, where tone wise it should be its own thing, story wise should still be its own thing. But if they separate this from the DCU, I think it's gonna piss off a lot of people. You're showing the whole point of James Gunn taking over this, so there's structure and stuff like that, and it seems like right now things are all over the place. Hopefully it's just the way they worded it, we're taking it the wrong way. Maybe the story is its own thing, still part of the DCU, but hopefully it stays like that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. I guess it's time for the Lantern Show. This is one of my most anticipated projects coming out of the new DCU, right after Superman. Yeah, they have great writers from Ozark, Watchmen. I'm very excited to see this, guys. That will be it for today, guys. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in to the CeeLo's Film Club. If you enjoy this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a beat on any movie news and movie breakdowns, any trailers that are coming out and stuff like that. So I highly appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Peace.